If I'm a government employee and let's say I'm 60 years old and have the years in service and I'm laid off, does the thrift savings still remain mine? And if so, can I leave it there or what should I do with it? Should I roll it over into some sort of IRA or should I move it for other investment options? What's available to me? What should I do if I don't know what to do?
So when you separate from service, from the federal government,
Yeah.
the thrift savings plan belongs to you. So whether you have the time and the age to retire and receive your pension is irrelevant. You
Okay.
have contributed money into the TSP, you're vested into the TSP, and that money belongs to you, right? So
Okay.
that's the answer to the first question. Should
Okay.
you leave it in the TSP? Well, that depends. And here's what it depends on for me. Do you think that at some point in the future you may go back to work for the federal government? If you may want to
Right.
leave it there so you can contribute when you start over from whatever the value is when you left.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a fan of people leaving retirement accounts with former employers.
Okay.
The reality is you could roll your TSP into an IRA. You could set the underlying assets within the IRA. If you want to mimic the TSP, you can do that. The TSP is really 5 different funds. They have some mutual funds, but the vast majority of employees just use the 5 funds, or they use something called L funds. L stands for life cycle. So the 5 funds are this. There's the C fund. Well, the C fund follows the S&P 500. There's the S, as in Sam fund. The S fund follows the Dow Jones. The Dow
Mm-hmm.
Jones is every company in America that didn't make it to the S&P 500. It's more volatile than the C fund because you have companies that have explosive growth and you have companies that have explosive return or backup,
Right.
right? Then you have the I fund that follows an international index. You have a F as in Frank fund that follows the bond markets. And then you have the G fund with government securities. Out of all 5 of those funds, they all come with some volatility, with the exception of the G fund. The G fund is an interest rate driven asset. And so it grows. It may not grow a lot, but you never lose money in the G fund. So, having said that, you could roll that money out of the TSP into an IRA, and guess what? You could go find an ETF that follows the S&P 500, an ETF that follows the Dow Jones, an ETF that follows the international market, ETF that follows bonds, ETF that follows government securities. Or, so you can replicate the TSP, and you have control over those assets.
Welcome to the I Triumph Real Estate Blueprint Podcast, where greatness awaits you.